Yeah, hi guys. I thought I'd try something different, and I'm showing you a replay of a game that I just played, rather than providing live commentary. I do play a little bit better when I can focus 100% on what I'm doing instead of commentating, and this way I can, I sort of record some games, I don't record some games. Sometimes it means I end up having some real bangers that I don't record, etc. So what I might try and do is just show some replays of some of the games that I think were either really exciting or really instructive. Um, and so in this game, basically this is one of the cleanest games I've had in terms of defending sort of swarm hosts, and they can be very annoying to deal with, right? And they can get free damage, they can harass your base. The combination of sort of swarm host and nidus, where they pop in, they harass your base, they pop out. So hopefully this game will show you kind of how to deal with it. Okay. So I'm opening up standard here, and I'm gonna not go into 3cc in this game. I think 3cc is generally really good, but it does have some drawbacks. Like you've just got a bit less money, and it does mean it delays your Hellion production a little bit, and you've just got a little bit less. Your wall up is a bit slower. You've just got a little bit less proactivity and attacking prospects. So yeah, pretty standard so far.
Command center upgrade complete.
By the way, to change the colors is Alt F. That's something it took me too long to discover. Okay, so it's hatch first.
The Grim Reaper has arrived.
Now he sends his Overlord in. The Zerg I'm playing is about 2728 Zerg, by the way. He sends the Overlord in a little bit deep here, so I rally the Marine behind it. Okay, and if you can get that first Overlord pick off, it's actually really nice. Because lava is a scarce resource early in the game. If you can supply block the Zerg, that's going to really be beneficial. So what we're just doing here is keeping him honest, making sure he's built some lings, not just the drones. We're scouting for the third base. We're looking to pick up information, and we're keeping the lings out of our natural. Okay, so we get that pick off, which is nice. I almost got surrounded there. But you can see until he has speed, he's scared to go off creep, right? Because I can just kill his units. But now, speed's not too far away, and I scout the third base, so we don't have too much to worry about. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go one Viking into a reactor and build 2 medevacs, and then I'm actually going to change over the, I'm actually going to lift the starport and build another reactor, and use that reactor for another barracks. Because one of the big challenges is getting enough production up quickly. You need to get 6 racks up, and if you build 6 racks and have them build all of their own reactors, it just takes forever to get any production out, and this can make you be very vulnerable. This is why the pros are always juggling their add-ons. Okay. So I could send those out. It's always a double-edged sword, because if you get unlucky and send them out and then he runs lings in, you can take some damage. So normally I like to wait until the next 2 are either out or close to being out, and I'm just keeping individual Marines. So you keep them on the ramp, so that if they come in, you're not going to get surrounded because you're not paying attention. You can lift those depots and flame them in a choke as well if they chase you up the ramp. Okay, so you've got a couple defensively, you can move out and scout around a little bit. Now we take our third base. We've got early stim started. Now the Viking. Now what I really like that I do in this game, it's also because my opponent is sending out a lot of Overlords. You see that I'm going around with my Hellions, and I'm actually spotting the location on the minimap of where the Overlords are, right? So this is actually a good thing to do. You can get a lot of value out of that Viking. It helps you defend against Niduses. It's nice scouting, and yeah, it's just you have the capacity to supply block the Zerg, and just getting free damage is always really good, right? It's always really good. So yeah, so I'm just poking around here, looking for a fourth base, maybe trying to catch out some drones while I get my infrastructure up. So I see that there's no fourth, not much creep spread. So, you know, we just get a little bit of pick-offs if we can deny the creep on this side. That's really nice. Okay, so my Viking is still picking off overlords, you can see. It's picking off another two. So I just hotkey it and I just A-click it on the map where I see the overlords. Okay. So yeah, so now we reuse the reactor at this point.
Ready for dust off.
We've got a couple of medevacs out. So we can now lift the starport and build another reactor. And you can see even at this point I've still got too many medevacs. It would have been okay actually to build a Liberator or something as well. And then we go into double engineering bay with upgrades. So I'm spotting another overlord there on the minimap.
Add on.
Now, you do need to be aggressive against the Zerg, but you know, you need to get your stim combat shield and bioproduction up first. And it's not that urgent also if they're only on 3 bases. Because that means maybe they're being a bit more aggressive.
Research complete.
Okay, so my macro is pretty clean so far. We're going up to six racks production. You want to have two racks for every base, mining base, up to a minimum of 8, I think. Now I haven't scouted for mutas. This is a sort of thing where it could easily be mutas. Okay. So you want 4 reactors and 4 tech labs. So that's why I changed it to a tech lab. I've already got 4 reactors. And I'm going to start adding a few tanks. It's nice just to have a few tanks to fall back on. Make sure you put them in good positions and try to defend them and put them behind walls and things like that. So this is about the time I'm starting to suspect, you know, is he taking the gold base? Because he's not taking the base on that side. He keeps rallying overlords out. He's being a bit frivolous with his overlords, but I'm happy to, yeah, just to take the free damage. And you get some scouting with the Viking too. You know, we haven't spotted any mutas coming out, etc. But I don't want to get caught out with mutas because we don't have really enough scouting about exactly what he's doing. So you don't want to get caught out and have some mutas flying. If you don't have turrets, you can take a lot of damage. Okay, so this is a nice pick off. And one of the cool things here, you see that the Reaper actually is tanking the damage, and that can be really good. So yeah, I've got one Widow Mine there, I've got one behind my wall. So if they run up to the wall, I can close the wall and then get a shot off. I've got a few Marines in my main, just guarding against sort of overlords, etc. So I scout here that he has in fact taken the gold. But what I'm also looking for is how many drones does he have, right? Because if he has less drones, it means he's been building more units. Right. Now I was actually a little bit slow to react to this. I was a little bit like, yikes, what am I going to do? But yeah, he just ran those lings in for vision. So we had the Hellions on the other side. Okay, but because it's been caught, maybe he builds a little bit early. I don't know, but as we'll find out, it was for swarm hosts. Okay, so I suspected that, and I'm going into Ghost Academy, which I want to build anyway. But one way you can sort of deny it is just to try to like deny vision on the perimeter. Okay, so you're just boosting back in here. We have a Widow Mine in position here. So we flame the Hellions, you see, because we haven't thrown them away in the early game. They're actually still quite helpful in the defense here, right? And this is where I see it is, in fact, swarm hosts, okay? So what you want to do here is just pull your bio away, pull your workers away and lift, and try to take as little damage as possible. Now here's the key thing, right? He's getting free damage doing this. So trying to control the perimeter and deny is one good strategy, but another good strategy is to counterattack when when his energy is used. So he's just used his energy, so all of the supply that he's got in swarm hosts he can't use to defend. Okay, so this is a good time to counterattack. So I've got pretty much everything I've got here, and he can't fight with the swarm hosts, right? So I'm going to have an army supply advantage. And he shouldn't have rallied those units in, he should have just pulled them back and tried to hold the third. Okay. But now this next part is really key, okay? This next part is key. It's like what you want to do is you want to force him into using his energy, the swarm host energy. So you'll see here, because I've got so much, he has to bring the swarm host home to defend, right? He releases the locust. Now what you do is you pick up, okay? You just pick up and leave. So he's wasted all the energy, right? And then after they die, then you can go on and attack again, right? So instead of him having the initiative and being on the attack and me scrambling to kind of avoid it, I can now take the initiative. And he's on the back foot. Okay, so he's trying to counterattack here, but this is where the defensive tank is nice. And I've been rallying my new production there. And because I see he's attacking, there's no reason to just not go and drop. So 4 marine drop, you know, stim, 1-1, upgrades. This is really brutal, right? It's hard for him to deal with. And again, he has to send forces he wants to be attacking with home to try to defend. And we see a similar thing. Here comes the locust. Just pick up, right? Just pick up and boost. There's no reason for me to go home here because I still have the army supply advantage as long as I'm not fighting against the locust. Okay, so we're just getting hella damage here. We're killing queens, which is going to mean less lava. Okay, and he actually just doesn't have enough. This is GG. He actually doesn't have enough to hold here without the swarm host. So when the next round of locusts come up, I just pick up and just rinse and repeat. Okay, so you can see here the units lost are 9,000 to 3,000. Okay, so it was a lot more even than that after he had done his first run. But this, yeah. So I think this was actually pretty clean. And hopefully sort of an instructive and helpful game. And hope you enjoyed watching. Cheers.